Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the world of VGamingJunkie news. Now, with less dross than the leading brand, there's nothing but pure gaming-related meatiness. It's all about the electronic good stuff as we dive deep in all that's new in the various interactive virtual worlds. We start out with some Cyberpunk 2077 news. No, it hasn't been delayed again, well, at least the game itself hasn't been. CD Projekt Red has issued an embargo on live streams and Let's Plays of any kind until the 9th. They say it's to curb spoilers, but unless it's spoiling in the title or thumbnail, that shouldn't be a problem. Let's be real, if you're watching someone stream or Let's Play a game in an intact fashion, you're signing up to be spoiled. If you're worried about people talking about the spoilers, they're gonna do that regardless. While I'm not suggesting this means it'll be a bad game, since Doom 2016 actually had a review embargo and it turned out pretty friggin' well, it does raise some concerns. Maybe hold off a bit on buying it until you've heard about or seen the game for yourself so you can make a more informed decision. On a lighter note, the makers of Fall Guys appear to be teasing the Doomslayer's appearance in Fall Guys as a skin. All we have to go on is a silhouette that looks suspiciously like the Slayer, launcher and all, and their Twitter saying time to suit up soon. The only error with this is that the Doomslayer is so much better at felling others than he is at being felled himself. Perhaps Fall Guys is the equivalent of playing on Ultra Nightmare or something. Either way, that's pretty friggin' cool and actually pretty out of left field. I've yet to actually play Fall Guys, but perhaps I shall one of these days, and I know who I'll be picking if and when that time ever comes. And speaking of characters coming to other games, it seems Kratos will be making his way to Fortnite. Well, I can't really imagine how a Norse deity that primarily uses blades and arrows will fit in with a multiplayer shooter. At least he certainly fits the idea of a bloodbath type of game. I really should get around to playing Fortnite one of these days, but that day will have to wait for another time. Of course, if you actually want to see me live stream Fortnite, let me know. After all, I'm really receptive to what you guys want of me, and I'm always happy to stream it if enough of you ask. So in other news, Ryan Hernandez has pled guilty in his hacking operation. He's the one who leaked a ton of data from Nintendo, including unreleased products and source codes of a few things like Super Mario 64. In addition to owing Nintendo $259,323 for damages, he also faces 3 years in prison. Perhaps the most unethical part about all this is that his leaked information also contained the personal information of Nintendo employees. This part, of course, even has archivists and historians shaking their heads, and for good reason. Source codes and unreleased stuff are one thing, but compromising people's personal information is simply a bridge too far for just about anyone. So Casey Hudson and Mark Dara are retiring from Bioware. They served as the general manager and Dragon Age Inquisition executive director respectively. While this doesn't appear to have any bad blood attached to it, it just reminds me of BioWare's unfortunate decline these days. Arguably, Mass Effect 3 was weaker than the first two, Andromeda was especially infamous, and the horrors of Anthem just speak for themselves. Here's hoping BioWare can have a bright future, but honestly, EA hasn't exactly proven themselves to be a company that's very interested in artistic vision, if you know what I mean. Still, I wish Casey and Mark the best in their retirement and hope BioWare can pull themselves out of this little rut. Seeing as how it's December, I decide I'll end it off with a more pleasant news story that befits the theme. Animal Crossing New Horizons has 2 exclusive items you can snag up during this month, namely the Aurora Wall, obviously based on the Aurora Borealis, and the Midwinter Sweater that has reindeers on it. They're of course available until the 31st, so feel free to grab them up before then. The wall is 7,000 bells, while the sweater will set you back 1,200. And as always, from Game Radar's own page, it's time for the next week's round of release dates. Due to my ignorance, I neglected to include the 4th lineup, so I'll just throw it in here. That day started out with Commandos 2 HD Remaster for Switch and Dark Complete Edition for PC, PS4, and Xbox One. This was followed up with Dragon Quest XI, S Echoes of an Elusive Age Definitive Edition for PC, PS4, and Xbox One, and FIFA 21 for PS5 and Xbox One. Fitness Boxing 2, Rhythm and Exercise on Switch, John Wick Hex for Xbox One and Switch, Madden 21 for PS5 and Series X, and Suzerain for PC to top it off. The next round of releases starts on the 8th with Call of Duty Warzone Season 7 on PC, Xbox One, and PS4. This is followed up with Call of the Sea for Xbox One, Series X, and PC, Destiny 2 for the 2 new systems, and at long last, Doom Eternal for the Switch. Panic Button truly is full of tech wizards. Anyway, it's followed up by Planet Zoo Aquatic Pack DLC for PC, then Puyo Puyo Tetris 2 for Series X, Xbox One, PS4, and Switch. Rights The Eye of Atlantis releases on PC, Shakes of a Plane releases on PC and Switch, and Swords of Gargantua releases for PlayStation VR. The grand finale for the 8th is Temtem on the PS5. The 9th only has 2 releases, Minecraft Dungeons Howling Peaks DLC for the Big 4 and Woodsalt for PC and Switch. The 10th begins with Animal Farm on PC, Brigandine The Legend of Runerzia for the PS4, and most notably Cyberpunk 2077 for PC, Xbox One, PS4, and Stadia. It was at this very moment, although he wouldn't know until after the fact, that VGamingJunkie has made a very egregious error. He neglected two December 10th releases, Haven for PC, PS5, Series X, and Xbox One, and Sword of the Necromancer for PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. The consequences of such an error will haunt him for the rest of his natural days, or at least until he inevitably forgets about it 5 minutes later. The 11th just has Medal of Honor Above and Beyond for PC and Space Invaders Forever for PS4 and Switch. Finally, this week's freebie of the epic variety until next Thursday is Cave Story Plus. And as always, that rounds out this news week. I hope you enjoyed and were well enough informed, and as always, I Let's Play every single day, 10 a.m. and 2 p.m, live stream Mondays and Fridays unless otherwise specified at 4:30 p.m, and these news programs are now Sundays at 6 p.m. That's Eastern Standard Time. You can always subscribe and spine shark that bell icon if you don't want to have to worry about keeping track of time zones. I'm sorry, what's that you say? It's actually Shine Spark? Well, I like mine better because sharks are awesome. Anyway, a like is always appreciated for the algorithms, but I just hope you genuinely liked it, and that is it for now. Thank you so much for tuning in with me. Spread this video around like next-gen bugs, and I'll see you next time. Now go out there and capitalize on life. Peace out, have a good one, and I'll see you next Sunday.